During the pre-release of Immortal Empires for Total Warhammer 3, I was preparing myself by exploring the expansive back catalog of both Warhammer and Warhammer 40k games. I played some good, some bad, mostly bad, and eventually stumbled upon a possible hidden gem with Warhammer 40k Chaos Gate. Released in 1998, this turn-based strategy game follows the story of the Ultramarines going up against the forces of Chaos. It sounds pretty awesome, but does this over 20-year-old game still hold up? When starting a new game, you can select your difficulty before the game gives you a pretty basic cutscene. After that, you can read the mission briefing, then select your squad for the mission. At first, you won't have too much to choose from, as the Terminator, Assault, Devastator, and special characters are all locked from the start. These will be available after completing certain main missions. Equipping your squad is incredibly important. A typical Space Marine is equipped with the trusty bolter, but the squad leader can equip other weapons as well. There are a good amount of weapons that you start out with and more that can be found later on. One of my favorites is the heavy bolter due to it being far more powerful than the standard bolter with far higher range. This was very effective against the followers of Chaos. Once your squad is equipped, you're ready to be deployed. If you're familiar with the old school XCOM games, you'll feel right at home here with each unit using additional points to move across the field, use their weapons, and interact with the environment. As the name of the game suggests, your main enemy will be Chaos troops. You'll mainly fight Chaos cultists with a few Chaos Marines thrown in early on. The game does a great job with the methodical pace of being a Space Marine as well as taking down one with bolters and other weapons. The sound design is also top notch here. Most of your missions will consist of eliminating all Chaos troops in the area, while a select few involve obtaining an item of some kind or destroying an object. The structure can definitely get repetitive, but honestly I'm fine with it considering the sheer satisfaction I get from a well-placed shot or a grenade throw. There's also a button to engage Overwatch mode that will have a unit attack an enemy once it gets in range during the opponent's turn. It's a great way to play defensively and save up AP points without spending it on movement. There's a decent level of progression with unlocking troop types. At first, you'll have your standard Space Marine squads, but will eventually get access to Assault and Devastator squads with each of their own specialities. My favorite in particular are the Terminator units. These things are so damn strong with their own unique weapons. The Assault Cannon in particular is useful for mowing down many units at once. It's even strong enough to take out a few Chaos Marines in one turn. Vehicles may also appear for some missions, but these are too far and few in between to really comment on them. There are also solo units as well that can be unlocked, including a Librarian, a Leader, and several others. My favorite is the Sidekick for all the abilities it can learn as it levels up. I stuck with Chain Lightning as it can take out multiple Chaos cultists at once. It also has this OP Vortex ability that I casted wrong at one point and accidentally took out all the freaking Ultramarines. Whoops. It just shows how much potential this unit has, although it has a very high chance to fail at casting these spells for some reason. At the end of each mission, each troop will gain experience based on their performance. Once they gain enough experience points, they will level up and gain a pretty substantial boost to their stats. It's a great reason to keep as many Marines alive as possible, since losing one will cost all that development the character had. Along with the main missions, you'll come across points in the story where you can participate in side missions. These are completely optional but are good to replenish ammo and get some more experience for your less seasoned Marines. The objective for these is to basically kill everything in sight, but never takes up too much time due to the smaller map size. Also, these optional missions are randomly generated every time you play them, so you can end up fighting a small squad of Chaos Marines or a crap ton of Khorne Berserkers. Either way, be prepared to die for the Emperor. The graphics are charming but definitely dated. The music, however, is legendary and will live on forever. The music is so over the top that it fits the 40k world perfectly, especially as you mow down enemy in the Emperor's name. There's one song in particular known as the Ultramarines chant that has basically lived on in the hearts of fellow Space Marines. For the Emperor. Unfortunately, the latter half of the game isn't as good as the first half in my opinion. Once you get Terminator armor and find some pretty strong weapons, the game begins to get repetitive, fighting the same Chaos enemies over and over again. I was hoping to get an unexpected twist of some kind with Dark Eldar or even some orcs, but nothing came of it. Better enemy variety would have gone a long way to help with long-term playability. Thankfully, there's a bit more that you can do to help with replayability. Instead of playing the campaign in order, you can choose the scenario you wish to play from the start. In addition, there is also a random map generator where you can configure many variables associated with difficulty, the environment, and the experience of your starting units. There are still only chaos units to fight, but at least it creates some unique situations to experience. Overall, it's a very solid turn-based game that I am glad to have had the chance to experience. While the latter half of the game could have been improved with better enemy variety, the tactical experience is still awesome. The attention to detail regarding 40k and the lore is also much appreciated here. Crazy enough, it actually did get a sequel earlier this year, so maybe I'll take some time to look at that one. Thank you guys for watching as always, and this is Powerhouse, signing off.